Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm SEU President Kent Ingle, and as always, joined by our amazing VP for Student Development, Dr. Bethany Thomas.
What's up?
And hey, it's SEU Now.
I know.
And the weeks fly, don't they?
They do.
I mean, they go by so fast.
I know.
We're hoping that everybody's tuning in, and you're going to catch up on our weekly update show where we keep you informed, educated on what?
Everything
happening at SEU.
Give us the top three.
That's right. There's a lot. We can only do the top three because there's so much going on. We'd be here forever.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about the brand new release of
Yes.
SEU Worship's latest project, Heart
Woo.
Cry. The album just released last Friday
Yep.
and features 13 live worship tracks. And, of course, we have some great people to fill us in on all the exciting details. We have our Director of Campus Worship, Kenzie Walker. We also have SEU Worship artist, Chelsea Plank.
Yay!
And so good to have you both on the
Yeah.
show. And we're
So glad
excited
to be here.
to have this conversation about the project. But, of course, before we get started, we want to fill you in on those top three things
right.
that you need to know here that's happening. First of all, following the aftermath of Hurricane Ian, we've created a hurricane relief fund to raise money for all of our family and friends who've been severely impacted by the storm in Southwest Florida. If you'd like to make a contribution to the relief efforts, please visit our website at seu.edu, and I think the banner's right there.
It is, yeah.
And you can tap that. I talked to several of our pastors in Southwest Florida, especially where we have extension campuses and just desperate need, for resources, just devastation there. And we want to come alongside. I already know a lot of SU students have been down there and serving and helping, and so we're excited just to come alongside and be a part of that. So if you want to be a part and give, make sure you check out the website seu.edu. In addition, I think our fire athletics department is actually partnering with Radiant Church.
Wow.
To collect non-perishable goods for those impacted by the hurricane. Donations can be brought to the collection boxes at guest services or ticket office at each game occurring from today through Wednesday, October 12th.
Yep,
right?
that's right before fall break.
Excellent. Tonight, October 5th, SEU Missions will be hosting a pop-up worship night as part of their SEU Missions Week festivities. The gathering will be held on campus at the Jesus Fountain at 7 p.m. I hope it's running. I know we had to turn it off.
During the
I know we had to
hurricane.
turn it off during the hurricane,
Yes.
and I was walking by yesterday, and
They've been instructed to turn it back on.
it wasn't back on. So we got to have the
It's just
living
not,
water flowing
exactly.
out of the.
It's just
out
not
of
the same when it's not running.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
the
that's
whole,
tonight at 7.
whole community invited to come out for this special time of worship. Don't miss it. And then finally, the School of Music will be holding a music faculty gala at First Presbyterian Church in Lakeland on Monday, October 10th.
Yeah.
Gala event is free of charge. Will begin at 7:30 p.m. It's set to be an unforgettable night, so please check it out if you can do so.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive in. We're going to start with Kenzie. Can you tell us a little bit about the Heart Cry, behind the project, and what does the album title Heart Cry really mean, and the influence behind it? So let us know.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having us.
Of course.
Thank you for the way that you just push and help release the sound that's happening here on campus. It's been really special. And I feel like that's kind of the purpose of what this album was. We hadn't done a full-on live band worship album since 2020.
Wow.
And so we felt like it was definitely time.
Yep.
We had released an acoustic album before, which I feel like is what it needed to be. But we had just so many songs collecting in our space here at SEU. So many incredible moments of worship that were just happening on campus.
Totally.
And so really this album is just letting everyone into the moments that we're having here on campus in Bush Chapel.
Wow.
And there's a lot of extended worship moments that you'll hear. And those weren't planned. Like those are just like naturally what the Lord does here when we just make space for him.
Right.
I think there's definitely a mark of worship here on this campus.
Absolutely.
It's like
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
obvious and so evident. And so I
Yeah.
feel like that was just us being obedient and just letting people in on like the power of what happens when young adults can come together and make space for God. And obviously it's called Heart Cry, and I love that because as I'm listening through, I just sense just the spirit of desperation over every single song.
Yeah.
And I think it really does make you go back and challenge yourself. Like, what is the cry of my heart? Like, what
So
is
true.
my one desire
Yeah.
when I'm worshiping? Like, what is my soul, like, focus? And so I think as you listen through this whole album, it just, like, takes you back and it realigns you and gets you desperate again for the things of God.
That's so good. Now, Chelsea, obviously I love all the songs, and I'm not just saying that. I truly could not wait for this album to release. I often ask you guys to send me like the tracks ahead of time so I can listen. But one of my favorites is Deep Dive. Now, can you tell me the inspiration behind the latest release, which was Deep Dive?
Sure. Yeah, so Deep Dive was actually written by Dan, another pastor here, and a few others. And we led this song so much at different, obviously on campus, it really was instrumental and crucial here.
Yes.
But also it seemed to, in every space we went to, just like minister so deeply to everyone. And they were always asking, like, when are we going to hear Deep Dive? When are we going to, release a Deep Dive? And it really literally comes from a place of wanting to know God more. I remember calling Dan up, actually, and asking him, because we were leading it so much at different youth camps that we went to, and I was just like, what is the heart behind this song? Because I want to share it. I want to know it. He was like, literally, everyone in the room, and Kenzie could probably speak more to this, but just wanted to know God more. Just wanted such a deeper revelation and relationship with him. Yeah. And I love the bridge when it says, show me what's breaking your heart, even if it messes me up. Because I don't want to know you in part. I want to know you, really know you. Yeah. It's like knowing the deepest parts of God is knowing what grieves his spirit and what grieves him. And praying for that and asking for that is so key. I think it's why it just relates with everyone and why everyone is ministered by it, including myself. And so I was so excited for that release. And it's really just knowing a deeper relationship with God.
So true.
And now I understand, Kenzie, that this album, this project was created totally in-house. Kind of walk us through, the songwriting and the production process and what goes into it.
Yeah, which I would say the only reason we're able to do this is because we just have a next level team. It doesn't make sense how God has gathered such good writers to this campus, such good worship pastors. But also the production team is just unreal.
Yes.
And so we even have Cam Giddens, who he works for the Department of Spiritual Formation, to be our production coordinator. So he was very instrumental in helping us with production.
Right.
Pre-recording this all the way in Buttercup Studios. And so we had so many fun memories, just walking over there, working on the album. And then just to see it, it has the hands of SEU all over it and the students. And so even, recording it was special, but then all of our posts we did with Cam.
Right.
And getting to have our students go over and retrack guitar parts and keys parts. And so I really think it's true when we say from start to finish, it was an in-house project. Yep. And I think God totally blessed that because we had unity, we worked together, and it's truly embodies what SEU is.
Totally.
Yeah. And I don't know if listeners all know this, but what's cool about it being in-house is you guys also grew up in-house here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You started as freshmen and have worked your way, getting your undergrad, and now you're working on your master's, and now you work here full time. And so it's just been really cool. I think why it is our heart cry so much is because it truly is the heart that you guys have been, the things that have been sowed in you at SEU, and now you're getting to write about. And I just think, I was just thinking that it's a full circle moment. But what would you want and hope listeners to take away from Heart Cry from the album? What would you mainly hope they take away?
Yeah, I just see so clearly a theme of us. Honestly, in a few of the songs, we sing out to God, "Holy, holy," and we are joining in the anthem of heaven.
Wow.
Actually, it's that's what the Bible teaches us, is that's what the angels are singing 24/7, and that we would have that revelation first of a holy, powerful, all-knowing, almighty God, but that we actually we can have same relationship with him every day of a holy God. So I think from start to finish, it just tells that story of a holy, mighty, wonderful, good God that we can actually meet with daily. And I think that's, when I'm listening through all the songs again, I'm just brought back to that place. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm joining with heaven's song, and I can have a relationship with this God who is holy and matchless and mighty.
Yeah.
And I remember at the recording specifically feeling that exact same thing. I think I got to have a ministry moment. It felt like
Yes, you did.
You know, it just felt like the roof had opened up and we were joined as one with heaven.
Yes.
Totally.
And I meant that. I remember just being overwhelmed with like gratitude of like we get to experience heaven on earth.
So cool.
Through the worship of this album. So thank you for leading us in that moment.
Now, this is to both of you. Do you have a favorite track, or is there a particular song that you really resonate with?
I love this.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is definitely Monday Morning Faith.
Oh, I love that song.
So, written by Chelsea, led by Chelsea.
So good.
It's just a topic that I feel like we haven't sung yet. And that, that's so rare to actually have a worship song that you're like, wait, I've never thought about this. Because a lot of it is just truth sung in a, old truth sung in a new way. But this seems like it's like a very fresh revelation. And I'll just say one of my favorite lyrics. It says, what really makes darkness run is when the saints arise and praise in quiet.
Yeah.
And it just talks about the power of having personal intimacy with Jesus. Yeah. Personal, alone worship. And that's what Jesus modeled for us, getting away to be with God.
So true.
And we're very comfortable doing it together and congregationally. Right. But I think what is so powerful and where you really gain authority is when you can do it with silence, and you can do it with just you and God. No ingredients needed, just getting it into that space. And that's what I think really scares the darkness away.
Totally.
What about you, Chelsea?
I would think one of my favorite songs is probably Pour It Out.
Yeah.
One, it's led by one of my favorite people in the world, one of our favorite people, Dylan Dames. And shout out. And one of my favorite lyrics literally ever written, and I feel like it's so simple, but with humble hearts we turn away from our sin. Literally, for some reason, grips my heart every time we sing it, and I'm like, oh, I need to do that again. Like, with a humble heart, I need to turn away from my sin again. It's like it's a daily practice. Yeah. It's an hourly practice for me, a minutely practice. But yeah, I would say Pour It Out is one of my all-time favorites off the album.
Hands down.
I love it. Kenzie, how many students I know we have a lot of students that come, they want to be a part of SEU Worship. Yes. How many new students did we welcome to SEU Worship this fall? And how many members does that make total in SEU Worship?
Okay, so I was looking at the numbers this morning. Yeah. I think we added about 24
That's amazing.
new students onto our team from auditions, which we get hundreds of people. And it would bless me to have all of them in. Yes. But we only have 3 chapels. So we were able to pick a solid 24 people, which now makes our roster 98.
Wow.
98 people
that's amazing.
for the 3 chapel teams. So we're definitely making room, making space for our family. Yeah. But a really good resource for us right now is worship choir. When it's like, hey, now that you've notified us that worship is your heart, like, come be with us in worship choir.
Absolutely.
This is a place that we don't have to have a cap or a limit.
Right.
And you get to just be with like-minded people, be a part of our team immediately while still growing your gift.
Right.
And so they're getting vocal development, community immediately. And so we have a pretty stacked team right now.
I love it.
That's good. Final question for our conversation. And Chelsea, I've heard that SEU's bringing back the worship choir.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that, and then how maybe students can get involved and participate in that.
Yeah, so worship choir, like Kenzie was saying, we brought it back, which is so exciting. It is such an integral part of our culture here, is just wanting everyone to be involved in the worship movement that's happening here, in whatever way that means for them. And so worship choir, led by our amazing student leaders, Ronnie and Chantel, they have been killing it, and you can come into, whether you made the team or not, we have people who are on, rotation is what we call it, or not, in worship choir, and you get to be a part of our conferences, monthly chapels, and just be a part of the sound that we're creating, or that God's, allowing us to operate in. And you can join. They meet weekly. And
they're singing this Thursday.
Yes, they're singing this Thursday.
Thursday morning chapel. It's going to be so good.
Thursday morning chapel. So they'll come for morning chapels once a month, for things like SEU conference, for things like live recordings. They're totally 100% involved in those things, and they literally make the sound of SEU. Yeah. It's like our students.
Beautiful.
So it's
the
so
heart
cool.
cry.
The heart cry. You got it.
Well, Kenzie and Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us
you.
today on SEU Now. What a great project. We're so excited about it. And to everyone tuning in, be sure to pre-save Heart Cry on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of your other music platforms, right?
Yeah, and
Anything
I think
else?
they can even just go and you don't have to pre-save.
Is it now? You don't have to pre-save now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent.
I don't know how that word works.
It's available.
It's
to
available.
You.
Okay.
Go
Excellent.
get it.
Want to make sure.
Yes.
And then, of course, as usual, keep up with the latest SEU news updates online. Follow us on social media at SEU University and at Kent _Ingle and at Bethany Thomas.
Yes.
Hope you all have an amazing week, and we look forward to connecting with everyone again next Wednesday on SEU Now. Take care, everybody.